And video is on. Let me know if my video is indeed feeding proper. It should be. Should be. I'm looking right now and it looks fine. So hopefully that is still the case. All right, my good people. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate all of my viewers. Big shout out to the Patreon supporters. There is a link in the description box below if you would like to become a member of the SMT Patreon. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then a $5 tier of support. Those pledges, of course, support productions here on the channel, and PayPal donations, whatever you guys do. You don't have to do these things, but there are ways to contribute to the SMT Nation, to the cause. All right, so you all know how it goes. I thank you in advance for those things. Never a requirement. You don't have to. I understand the current economic thing that's going on, and don't feel obligated. I just let you guys know that that is the case. So we did have the first super chat tonight from Kazi. Shout out to the Metro dealers. Hashtag save the Metro dealers. I've always said, Kaz, and I was talking to you a little bit in the DM about this. I think the end game is for those Metro dealers to somehow, some way, go with a multi-brand approach, MVNO, retailer type setup. Things just don't look good at the Metro side for now. And that's really unfortunate because that was a brand that was growing. That was a brand that dealers were getting behind. T-Mobile encouraged those dealers to open a lot of stores to push the growth back in like 2015, 16. I know because my friend was a part of it here in Cleveland. He was a part of that expansion. They said, open these stores, open. We want more branded stores all over the city. And T-Mobile themselves didn't want to own and operate those Metro stores. They wanted dealers to do it. Avoid all of the requirements that it takes to put into a business. They were offloading all those responsibilities, financial responsibilities, everything on the dealers. And then it completely backfired. So they're definitely going through it. I really hope that more of those Metro dealers could have been able to multi-brand and go MVNO. And I hope they find a way to pivot. If the end game is to get away from Metro, they can get back on their feet and have other MVNO options. And I think with the track phone deal with Verizon, I really hope that kind of lends itself to an opportunity for those dealers. And I just don't know if that's the case. We don't know what Verizon's going to do with track phone. We legit don't know. Even people with incredible insight in prepaid don't know. They don't know what Verizon's end game is. They don't know what their intentions are going to be. So it's a hard call to make. I don't know what to expect. I don't think anybody really does. So we're going to send our well wishes out to the Metro dealers and hope that they can bounce back. And hopefully, T-Mobile changes up policies and improves that for people that are on that retail side. So big shout out to Kaz. Thank you. And there was another one here. I think it was from Gene. Big shout out to Gene. Thanks for that super chat, Gene. Always a big supporter of the show and a big supporter of the channel. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for all that you do. Let's see here. Yeah, Pat, I am on Los Mobile. Absolutely. I am streaming on Los Mobile. It is my home internet solution. It's been very reliable. It's been very good. It's been awesome to have it. My other option was Cox, and they're trash. So it's been a lifesaver. Might be trying StarLink soon. We'll see how that plays out. Fiber is supposed to be coming to the SMT headquarters. We'll see about that. It's still not here. We know we got supply issues with fiber. Who knows when those things happen. Big shout out to Marc Hoyle. Thank you for your super chat, my friend. The people that are donating, you guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you. This is a consistent trend. You guys have always been very generous, and I am most grateful and thankful for all that you do to support me. So thank you. I'm telling you, man, that Los Mobile is legit, bro. I'm telling you. I post screenshots of my speed tests. I've made video content using it. I've uploaded videos. I live stream on it. It is the truth. It works. I don't know, Pat. I don't know when I'm going to get that fiber. I was supposed to get it in May, and it continued to get pushed back up until, I think they said October. We'll see where the supply chain is at in a month. Again, I'm not holding my breath anymore. I've learned my lesson. When it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm going to have to pivot. We're looking at StarLink right now. We're looking at a fixed wireless option right now. We'll see how things play out. Hopefully Dish will compete with Boost to attract Metro dealers. Who knows? That could be in the cards. Maybe they pivot and they start expanding Boost. I'm telling you, MS, it's been great for me, man. I have been a huge proponent and fan of Los Mobile since I tried it. You know, keep in mind, everything is relative to a couple of things. And this is just a word to the wise out there. If you are thinking about trying Los Mobile, you have to understand that if the Death Star, the Big Blue network, is not going to hold it down for you in that area, Los Mobile's just not going to work. You have to consider the coverage. You have to consider the network performance there from Big Blue. So, and then another thing, to people out there that are trying to activate old technology, old legacy devices that aren't whitelisted for use on the Death Star network, like people trying to activate these old ZTE devices and hotspots. Look, get yourself a Netgear Nighthawk. Stop being cheap. You know, if you can't buy the new one that's like a few $100s, then get yourself the older one for maybe like $150 or whatever it is. Get yourself a decent option, a decent piece of hardware, a Netgear Nighthawk, 4G LTE, 5G, whatever. Stop messing around with this cheap, non-compatible, it's not going to work. When you go cheap, you get cheap. I recommend the Netgear Nighthawk option. Get it unlocked, whatever. Connect a decent router and call it a day. That's how you do it. None of that ZTE nonsense. None of that, needs to be whitelisted. Just forget all that. Do the right thing and get a good piece of hardware you can trust that is compatible so it can perform well for you. And honestly, the same thing with the phone situation. Get yourself a phone that is compatible with all the bands, band 14, N30, band 30. Get the full compatibility for the Big Blue network. This is the only way to do it right. You will thank me for it. I mean, heck, if you have to finance stuff from Best Buy, do it. Pay it monthly. It's going to be worth it in the long run anyways. I know what's going on, and I know those things are difficult, and I know the price. Sometimes people are price sensitive, but you got to get compatible stuff. Hashtag Los on Fiber. Nice. Yeah, I totally agree, Kazi. It's got to be band 14. Big shout out to Jay. What up, buddy? All right, man. I still haven't even started the show, and we're like halfway through, and we got to do the Technoid thing later, so I got to get through this stuff. All right, man. Okay, so we are, 22 minutes in. Let's start. All right, so the first thing I want to start with, and big shout out to all the donos. All right, thank you guys for everything. The T-Mobile phishing scam is an interesting development. We're talking about fresh off the heels of the T-Mobile data breach, where they essentially neglected to secure customer information. I mean, we're talking about some pretty sensitive stuff. So what was lost in the breach was customer names, IDs, driver's license. People lost financial information, credit card, banking information, stuff that was on auto pay, stuff was on file, social security numbers, birth dates, the whole shebang, everything private. And it affected a lot of people, like 54 million customers. And it's not just the fact that it was that 54 million customers. It was the fact that there were previous breaches, and hacks that have been going on basically every year for like the last half a decade. So these things are not new. Companies go through these things. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like it doesn't. I'm just saying it continues to happen at T-Mobile with the frequency. And I think that's why the FCC is going in on T-Mobile and they're running their investigation and their probe. I also think that's why there's a few class action lawsuits here that are probably going to end up happening. There's probably going to be some settlements. There's going to be trials. And apparently they're going to be jury trials too. So we'll be following that too. But this second thing here, this story, T-Mobile's got a phishing scam on their hands. Now this does not jeopardize T-Mobile's network. It doesn't jeopardize their systems. It really doesn't jeopardize their customers' information either. What this phishing scam is, for those of you that don't know what phishing scams are, what they do is they try to get you, the customer, or whoever owns the device. They're going to send you something of a notification. They're going to send you an email or a text trying to get you to go into some kind of a link and then get you to click on it and start putting in a lot of your personal information, specifically like your bank information, like your account number, your routing number, and they try to trick you and tell you, we'd like to send you money, you want a gift card, these types of things. So here's the thing. If a company says you won something, why the heck do they need your bank information? If they really wanted to send you money, they can send you money in the form of a gift card. They don't need your information, your banking, routing, account number. Is ridiculous. So this is just a pro tip, all right? Just a common sense tip. Nothing is free in this world. And when companies are trying to give you something for free and you have doubts about it, it's probably fake and fraudulent. Don't engage. So the phishing scam, I believe the origins started on Wednesday. People started reporting it. They were calling into like T-Mobile customer care, and people were reporting it on like T-Mobile Reddit, and I think also on the T-Mobile there's a T-Mobile website, where they disclose a lot of this stuff. And I don't know. They're saying that as of Wednesday, this was happening at a pretty accelerated pace, and people were reporting it not even isolated, like it was happening spontaneously all over the place. They're saying that people in New Orleans, Baton Rouge were targeted. That's an interesting thing because they just had the hurricane. Maybe they're trying to target vulnerable parties, vulnerable people, possibly. I don't know. But they're saying in the metro area of Baton Rouge and New Orleans, that's who's really seems to be getting targeted here. What it is they're trying to send you, the phishing scammers, a $200 rebate as appreciation for your business from T-Mobile. T-Mobile customers do not click on any links from any random notifications. If T-Mobile is running a promotion, you would get an official notification from the T-Mobile app, an official T-Mobile email, right? It would be an official notification. It would not be suspect. It would not be questionable. You wouldn't be concerned about it. And then you would be able to call T-Mobile and ask them about it and confirm it is indeed something that they're running of a promotion or something like that. So if you click on the link, you are asking for trouble. It'll then prompt you to go ahead and put in your banking information. And then once they get your banking information, they're going to take your money. So if you put in your checking account number, your routing number, your account number, your debit card number, whatever, your credit card number, they will be taking your money. They will be running charges, the whole shebang. Many believe that it is coming out of the Philippines in terms of its place of origin geographically. They're using spoof numbers. So like South Florida, zip codes and numbers. Louisiana, another one. So avoid. If you're a T-Mobile customer, do not click on these links. Do not open up any of these notifications. Don't put in your banking information. It is not officially from T-Mobile. It's not, it's not them trying to send you a gift card or anything like that. It's a fraudulent, fake phishing scam. And we have confirmation from T-Mobile that they are not running any type of rebate program. They are not doing some customer satisfaction promo or anything like that. So avoid it at all costs. Don't open it up. Just swipe it away. Delete it if you have to. Don't be tempted. They're not running anything special. You know what's a shame is most definitely some people are going to indeed click open the link, jeopardize the security of their device. They're going to put in their information, and they're going to give these people access to their money. It's going to happen. Some people just don't know any better. And, it's just some people are vulnerable to this, and they don't know. I could especially see possibly someone elderly accidentally click on it thinking that it's T-Mobile, and then they're giving it up smooth, And that's where I think and that's what these phishing and scamming things are really about. They're putting the bait out there. They don't know how much it's going to work. They don't know how many successful, hacks or scams or phishing things are going to work. They just put it out there, and what happens. If they trick 2 people out of 1,000, they're probably thrilled, right? That's free money, right? They're thieves, They're stealing money, but you have to be knowledgeable about these things. You must educate yourself. This is why you're here. This is why you came to the SMT. You came here to be updated and informed. That's what I wanted to do when I made this channel. Update and inform. So, you are officially informed. Do not open any links saying that you have a $200 rebate as appreciation for your business from T-Mobile. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't open it up. Don't click on it. Don't share it. Nothing. Leave it alone. Delete it if you have to. If you really think it's got some legitimacy, you contact T-Mobile customer care. Hit them up on the T-Force on Twitter. You've got the team of experts. You can call your people, right? You can call customer care on the phone. You could chat with them. They got the chat app option, right? And then even better, look to see if they're running promos. Go to the T-Mobile subreddit. Go to the T-Mobile website. If T-Mobile is running a promotion, they would be advertising it on their website. You would be hearing about it on the SMT YouTube channel, right? It would be on Twitter. Thank you, official Twitter account, for this rebate. Everybody else, go get yours. That's what I'm saying, John. Seriously, big shout out to John, man. I got a link for John's channel. Let's promote John tonight. Yeah, my brother from another. Don't do the phishing scam. Now, maybe you want to fandangle. You want to mess around with those people. Go ahead and tease them. See if you can mess with them. For all my savvy users out there, go give them a hard time. Try to hack them back. It's interesting. Funny stuff. All right, next story. This one coming out of StarLink. All right, this is good stuff. I love StarLink. All right, I got to tell you guys, StarLink is going to help a lot of people. It's going to help people like me. It's going to help people like you. Maybe. I don't know. If you have fiber, it's probably not going to really help you, but it does create a market competitor. So I guess it kind of does help everybody. So the StarLink satellite internet, at this moment in time, the underlying issue for the service to really take off and get traction, it's really about supply limitations. The problem now is we don't have enough hardware to get sent out to people. So myself, as well as others in the SMT Nation, are looking for a home internet option that is reliable, more reliable than what they currently have and are offered. They're probably looking for something priced better, potentially, more reliable, and then maybe better speeds, better performance. All of that, you're looking for it, right? In my case, I have Cox Home Internet as an option, or AT&T DSL. Neither of them is good. The DSL doesn't offer enough capacity. The Cox is unreliable and just terrible service. Just the worst. And that's all I got. What the StarLink could do for me is give me a viable option that would be better than both of those. Now, once you get fiber available to you, then it's a totally different ballgame. The fiber is always going to be better than StarLink. It's just like, it's going to be very unlikely that anybody's options, will always be StarLink better than fiber. That's just not going to happen. So at this point, the production of the hardware has been the problem. It's been pretty tough trying to get one. It's been tough sledding. So that's really the hard part. The demand is really high and the production hasn't really hit stride. So as of right now, the current rate of production, we got some information from the CFO and the CEO of StarLink, and they're producing about 5,000 dishes per week. All right, so if you do the math on 5,000 dishes per week, there's no wonder why there's a delay in the service getting to certain people in certain places. So the expansion of the coverage and the service is one thing. The other thing is actually getting hardware that they can ship to you. All right, so there's another thing that's going on. Good news, though, and I'm glad to be able to offer you this update. The manufacturing rate is about to pick up in pace. So this is where things are going to start to make a tangible difference, where it's going to be available to more people. The boosts are coming later this year. So in 2021, so they're basically saying October, November-ish, I'm guessing, because they said Q4, that we're going to start to see more of the units going out, getting shipped, and they're saying that it's going to be multiples higher in supply. So later this fall, which is what they said, the new dish line will be filling the back order. So they are anticipating filling all the demand, getting them sent out for everybody that wants one by picking up pace of production. So they're going to meet all the back order demand, and then they're going to start to fulfill current orders. And I think this is a couple of things here. I think it's the fact that they are getting through the supply chain issues. And I think also it's the fact that I think they're hitting stride in meeting the service demands. So the one thing was the capacity. We got to get more satellites up there. Then the next thing was getting the satellite dishes for people to use, the home terminals and such. And now those things are starting to come together. The CFO disclosed a newer low-cost unit is coming as well. So that's on the way. And that's pretty cool because, I don't know about you guys, but one of the things that kept me from trying StarLink from the rip and putting in my pre-order was the fact that the hardware was going to cost me $500. I know it's more like a deposit, and then you'd probably have the service long-term anyways, and you could always return it and get your money back. But it's just hard to put $500 up front and then pay $99 a month for the service. So they're probably going to be getting more business once the manufacturing cost for the dishes goes down. So this is awesome. They're talking about they got 600,000 pre-orders right now, and they're doing 5,000 weekly at this point. That means it was probably going to take them 2 years to fulfill the orders that are on back order. So they've got to pick up the pace, and they're going to do that. You got the chip shortage, you got the supply chain concerns, the bill of materials for that, what they're charging $500 for. I mean, that's got to come down. It's just unattractive to people. They're not going to be willing to try the service to kind of come up front and pay $500. I mean, this thing is probably super expensive, way more than the $500 to manufacture. In fact, they disclosed that the first satellite dishes, the first waves that went out to customers, apparently those first dishes costed $3,000 to build and assemble and manufacture. The second wave of dishes costed $1,500. The current ones that are getting shipped right now cost $1,300 to manufacture. So the cost has been decreasing over time, but it's just too expensive. Come on, man. You're going to sit there and tell people, hey, you got to pay $99 a month for service, and then the dish itself and the hardware, the terminal, all that's going to be an additional $500 because this thing is expensive. And it is. They're losing money on the dishes if you think about it, right? They're telling you we're going to give it to you for $500 or $400 or whatever, but it's costing them $1,300 to make it. So the new models, which are going to be considered next-gen terminals, are going to be they're going to cost half as much to produce. So $1,300, cut that in half, you're at $650. So that's pretty good. So at that point, I think StarLink might be willing to maybe just tell people, hey, give us $99 for the terminal, $99 a month for the service. And then they can live with that, and they can work with that. Now, where things get even better is they're talking about after the following generation of builds and manufacturing, the $650 manufacturing cost will also get cut in half. And they're saying that could happen at some point next year. So here's where I'm at with this. If they can get the cost to manufacture the dishes down to $300, $350, they can just give people the dishes free of cost. They don't have to charge them anything. Because at $350, you could just call that the cost of doing business. And customers at no hardware payments, look how people are adopting the Verizon home internet. Look how people are adopting the T-Mobile home internet. And the number one reason is they don't have to pay for hardware. They pay their monthly bill, they put it on auto pay, and they enjoy their service as long as it works as it's designed to. When you start putting in a modem fee, a gateway fee, a router fee, that turns people off because that'll drive the monthly price up. Or if it's on the front end, it makes it expensive to jump in. So again, maybe if you have a decent option, but you're looking for something better, maybe you want to hang on until the price of the hardware for StarLink continues to decrease. Because I'm telling you, once the price gets down to like $350 to manufacture, I think they're good for the go. You know, I think anybody is willing to adopt them. We got a super chat. I don't see any super chat. Did I miss one? My bad if I missed it. I'm just kind of cooking here. I'm just explaining and going off about StarLink. But I think that's where the excitement for StarLink applies. I think that's where it could be a difference maker for people. You know, you come in at $99 a month. I think most people are going to be willing to pay it because of the nature of the service and what their other options are. And I think by bringing the cost of the terminal down, it makes it a lot easier. Oh, big shout out to Josh Henson. Thank you, man. Thanks for that super chat, broski. All right. Thank you for letting me know, John. Appreciate it. All right, so costs coming down. Next-gen hardware will continue to decrease in pricing. This is huge. It's a huge turnoff when people got to pay. Oh, and it said another one. Thank you. Oh, there it is. It finally just kicked in. For some reason, it wasn't showing up on my end. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I had like a delayed response on my feed, but it's back. All right, $99 a month. Get rid of the cost for the hardware. You got yourself a winner. Some people are reporting latencies sub 50 milliseconds, sub 40 milliseconds. I think Carlos is saying he's getting like 33, 38 milliseconds for latency, the ping times. And then for downlink, some people are reporting 400 megabits plus. Some people in the 300 area. Most people are getting over 100 megabits per second, 150, 200. And then for the uplink, a lot of people are showing speed tests of like 40, 50 megs, sometimes 60, 70 megs. That's really good. That's better than what Cox is offering me here. That's better than DSL. It's better than HughesNet, Viasat, all of that stuff. It's a winner. So if you are in rural America, if you are in the hills, in the mountainous regions of the world, this, and I'm international, is not just the US. They're going to be serving everywhere. You're sick of HughesNet, you're sick of Viasat, you're sick of DSL. This is a legit option for some people. Very, very cool. I think it's a go. Once they get that pricing down, once they get the manufacturing, the bill of materials on that satellite, the terminal, the hardware. And by the way, they're still working on some stuff. They're looking to go mobile too. So they're going to be putting, you can get StarLink hardware, docked and attached to planes and, getting on boats and RVs, mobile homes, maybe on livery vehicles, party buses, limos. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, sky's the limit, Yeah, and here's John saying, I'm sick of Spectrum, and I'm sick of Cox Communications. It's trash. I'm sure there's people out there. Type a 1 if you're sick of your DSL. Type a 1 if you're sick of your current provider. Type a 1 if you're sick of HughesNet, Viasat, Satellite. Like these old satellite companies that have like 1,000 millisecond ping, right? And got a ton of jitter. Downlink speeds like 25 megabits the most. You can barely run a TV on it, right? You can barely watch a 1080p video on it. You got 100 gigs a month. That's all they give you. You're sick of capped. Type a 1 if that's you. You are sick of what you got. Type a 1 if you can't stand the customer care or the lack thereof from your provider. Type a 1 if you hate the lack of reliability from your provider. Performance is too inconsistent. You got buffering video. You got failed uploads. You got horrible Zoom call performance. Telling you. Jay's sick of everything. What's up, Brad? And who doesn't want another competitor to succeed? And this is why I commend Carlos for this. Carlos has he's got all types of home internet options. He's got Verizon 5G Home as an option. He's got fiber as an option from 2 different companies. He's got the StarLink. He could run Los Mobile. He could do fixed wireless, everything. T-Mobile home internet. He's got it all. And he says his primary and what he enjoys is the StarLink. He's supporting them. He loves paying his bill to support the innovation. I commend that, and I approve of that. I think he's onto something there, you know. And honestly, I think they are a very innovative company, and I think they're going to do some great things for a lot of people. And yeah, I know they're a business, and the bottom line is to be profitable and make money. I'm just saying, I like what they're doing. And we've got improvements coming. Coverage improvements, capacity improvements, performance improvements. StarLink is only going to get better. The ceiling is high. And who knows, maybe someday there comes a point where they are doing something in cellular, you know, for text fallback or call fallback or something like that. That would be very cool. Hotspots and whatever else. All right, good. We're down to the last 15 minutes of the show. We got to cover one more topic, and then we're going to do the poll. If you haven't voted in tonight's poll, it's in the live chat. Go ahead and vote for me, please. Love to get the pulse of the people on that topic. If the new iPhone is more expensive than last year's model, will that affect your purchase decision? Please vote. You got 3 options. Whether you are an iPhone fan, you own an iPhone, you're looking to upgrade, I mean, there's choices for you there. Go ahead and vote. We've got 85 votes as of right now. Let's get that to over 100 votes. All right, this next story here. The ceiling is the roof, Michael Jordan. Motorola. I have an incredibly special place in my heart, my technology heart, for Motorola. Big shout out to Gene. Thank you for that super chat, buddy. Thanks, man. The reason why I love Motorola is because Motorola was always the innovative company when it came to mobility. And by innovative, I mean like they were always on the cutting edge of technologies, new stuff. I mean, they were doing walkie-talkies back in the day. They were doing modem and router hardware. They were doing, you know, cellular phones, the best cellular phones, StarTacs, V60s. I mean, legendary phones. Legendary hardware. I loved Motorola because Motorola was the most groundbreaking, innovative company in the industry. And the devices were incredible. You know, I mentioned a couple already. You know, we can't forget about the droids, you know, ushering in the smartphone era. The Moto X. You know, they had so many huge moments in wireless and mobility and connectivity. I mean, heck, I think the first, like, police receivers were branded by Motorola and made by Motorola, the manufacturing. They were incredible. Such a great company. Now, the company structure has obviously changed. It was sold to Google and, you know, the patents and mobility and all these separations of the business. But they are still an innovative company in their DNA. So they've got this new product, which is going to allow them to do air charging. This is very cool. This is essentially a unique wireless charging technology, which essentially, if you're within 10 feet of the wireless charging device, your phone will charge. You don't have to set it on a pad. You don't have to, you know, actually have some kind of a contact point with a coil, which is kind of what we're seeing now with the wireless charging pads. This is freaking sweet. Up to 10 feet effective charging. Over air wireless charging. No pads, no stands. Phones and devices can connect just by being within the near field, like 10 feet. Very cool. Very innovative. I love this. Okay? The wireless hardware looks like a Wi-Fi modem, and phones and devices that are compatible and can be detected by that hardware will automatically get picked up and start charging. And they'll start juicing up. So the max capacity as of right now, so I'm assuming this is some kind of a prototype or something, you can have up to 4 devices connected simultaneously at any given moment in time. What's also pretty cool about this is it doesn't have to be straight in front of the charging beam. It can be at a 100-degree angle, which is pretty sweet. So it can be like off to the side, kind of. Yeah, Technoid. big shout out to the homie Mike, the real wireless charging. Because as of right now, you need contact points, coil to coil for charging. This would be real wireless charging, like you're in the room of a real wireless charging, like it's around you, it's charging. It's so cool. It doesn't have to be direct center. It could be off to the side up to 100 degrees. That's pretty sweet. Here's where things kind of are unfortunate. Of course, there's going to be rain on the parade. There's no word on the availability. So I was getting all excited learning about this and reading about this in this article. And then I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I got to buy this. I can't wait to buy this. I want to be in on the pre-orders. I want to be a part of the testing, the beta. I want to be a part of this. Because to me, this is so cool. This is what we imagined in new technologies for wireless. And there's no word on availability. So to me, not only is it beta, I would even go further and say this is prototype. It's not even beta. Like, they don't even have production models yet. They clearly are in testing, which sucks because that gets us excited. But that means it's on the horizon. Do we see this 1 year from now? Possibly. Do we see it 6 months from now? Probably not. You know, these types of hardware innovations take a little bit of time because there's going to be a couple of issues. Number one, you've got to make this fail safe. It can't be catching stuff on fire. It can't be failing. It's got to be trustworthy, reliable, and effective. It's actually got to work the way it says it's designed to work. And who knows, maybe between now and the next year of development and research, maybe they can improve it and make it more than 4 devices or beyond 10 feet, or maybe they can increase the rate of charge. There's a lot of things they could do between now and then. Also, no word on the cost of the device. So we don't know if it's going to be $200. We don't know if it's going to be $500. I would venture a guess it's going to be freaking expensive. I mean, it's kind of like the first of its kind. I don't know of anything else on the market like this or even in the works. I mean, I'm sure other companies are working on stuff, but this thing's going to be freaking expensive. Currently, the fast wireless chargers with, pads with the coils that you got to touch, the better ones are like $50, to get it fast, which like 7.5 watts, 10 watts maybe. I don't know. Are they doing 15 watts yet, wireless? I don't know. I'm guessing this thing's going to be at least $300. Don't be surprised if it's $399, $400, $500. And they might even come out with like an entry level one that charges like 5 watts. And then they're like, oh, we make a 7.5 watt one, and that one's $100 more. So it's going to be expensive, man. But man, that is really cool. And like in a year from when it first gets released, they'll be cheaper. And they'll probably have faster charging rates too. Man, if it's $3,000, I'm out. If it's a couple $100, I'm in. I'm willing to pay my ducats. I would pay $199 for a charger like this. You know how amazing that is? Your phone would never actively have to be plugged in if you had one of these in 2 of the rooms you spent the most time in. So your office or your bedroom or, work or whatever. I would actually try to convince my boss to invest in some of these and position them in places like, the teacher's lounge or, faculty meeting rooms, board rooms. That would be really sweet. Yeah, so a lot of stuff would have to be tweaked, adjusted, fixed, and all of that. But man, that's incredible. So no availability no word on availability, no word on cost. The speed or the rate, who knows? Maybe it'll be 3 watts, 5 watts, 7 watts. I don't know. Obviously, you'd want it to be fast enough. So if you're in a room for like 30 minutes, you can get at least 15% battery charge. I think that's at the least they could do. If they could do 30 minutes, 30%, or if they could do 30 minutes, 50% increase, that would be great. And who knows, maybe they wait until like graphene tech is out. I don't know. All in all, I think it sounds very beta. I think it sounds very much like a prototype. So we're probably not even close to production. It's probably more like test models. But it's in Moto's DNA to innovate. And it's in Moto's DNA to do unique things. And to make breakthrough technological advances. So I trust that it's going to be a good product eventually. That's right, Jay. 15.3k subs. Yes, the SMT Nation is strong. All right, last one. If you haven't voted, do it now. Vote. Go into the live chat. I ask the question, if the new iPhone is more expensive than last year's model, will that affect your purchase decision? Dennis, I want to know. Chime in, Dennis. Go into the live chat. If the new iPhone is more expensive than last year's model, will that affect your purchase decision? I need to know. Options for people that don't want an iPhone. Options for people that do but don't want to pay the increase. You tell me. You all are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. And I'm going to close out the votes. We finally hit 100 votes. We got it. 101. 3, 2, 1. Let's close this thing out. End poll now. And let's see our numbers. Interesting to see what the nation says. And the people have spoken. If the iPhone is more expensive than last year's model, will that affect your purchase decision? 40% of you said no, it will not impact my purchase decision. So basically you're telling me, even if the price were to increase, I'm still buying this iPhone. That's what I'm taking. If that's not the case, let me know. 34% said, I don't buy iPhones. So that would be the Android crowd. And then 24% said, yes, it will affect my purchase decision. I have to be honest with you guys. I think if you are a savvy consumer and pricing, you're a little sensitive to it, you don't want to just pay anything for anything, right? I get the 24% saying that. Because the thing is as Apple increases pricing, it's going to happen every year. And if they raise pricing every year, within the next 5 years, you'll be paying $2,000 for an iPhone. And they won't stop. They know they got you by the cojones. And they're going to make you pay whatever they want. Yeah, so what were we at? $849, $869 for the iPhone 12? I'm trying to remember what the price was. I know the Pro was $1,000, and I know the Pro Max was $1,100, and that's if you get the entry-level storage. You start getting increased storage numbers. You start going from the 64 to the 128 to the 256 to the 512. They're talking about having the Pro Max model with like a terabyte or 2 terabytes. Crazy, you know? I don't know. You guys tell me what is when is enough enough? Dennis says Apple will have actually let me scroll up here. I just lost it. It won't affect my purchase decision. More of an Android guy to begin with. Apple will have lower cost variants of iPhones to sell those Sneed. Plus there is Swappa. Yeah, so I mean obviously Swappa is an option, so is eBay, but that's used secondhand. I'm kind of just looking at it from at launch. You're buying new. That's kind of where I'm at with this. Alex, thank you for the super chat, broski. Did T-Mobile have an N41 failure yesterday in Seattle? I was getting 375 millisecond latency, 1 megabit down. Wow, I wonder if that was just a single site or if there were outages in the market. Could have been fiber issues, could have been some network upgrades, integrations going on. Maybe they were decomming some old Sprint sites, maybe doing some Sprint keep site upgrades. I don't know. Most people finance their devices, so the increase in cost is less of an issue. Yeah, but Dennis, at some point, if there's an increase annually, I mean, at some point enough is enough, right? $879 for the base, $128 iPhone 12. Thanks, Qais, appreciate it. Yeah. Yep. Wow, Jay. 3.3 megs down at N41. That ain't gonna cut it. All right, my good people. I am sorry, but I have to cut the podcast short because Technoid is going live, and I'm gonna jump on with him. So thank you to Alex. Thank you to Gene. Thank you to Joshua. I know there were some other super chats in here too. I'm gonna see if I can scroll up. Yeah, Gene, Josh, and there were others too. There were a couple more. Marc got us started. Gene had one before that. Kazi, thank you guys. I appreciate everybody that donated. I appreciate everybody that put in a vote in the poll. I appreciate everybody that liked this video. If you haven't gotten a chance to do that, please like this video now. Share it to your socials, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Share it for me. Facebook. I appreciate that very much. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show, y'alls. Thank you for watching tonight. If it is your first time here, you need to subscribe. You should. You really should. We really do offer great content. Speed testing videos, network updates, carrier news, technological advances. We do it all here on the SMT YouTube channel. I'm a one-man show, but I always do my best. We got the podcast, we got the live streams. We try to do it all. So, appreciate it. Do me a solid. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new here or you've been lurking. Subscribe. And turn on the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And if you want to take your SMT Nation experience to the next level, become an SMT Patreon supporter. We have multiple tiers. You get early access to videos, exclusive content. You get all types of goodies. All right, we got live streams that are exclusive to the Patreon. You got discounts on Los Mobile and carrier deals, promotions. To become a part of that group, very exclusive. And, it's a smaller, more intimate setting as well. All you got to do is go into the description box of this video, and there are links for it. Let's do some hashtags. Hashtag Mod Squad for all my blue wrenches. My people, thank you for what you do. Holding it down and keeping the haters out. We appreciate you very much. Hey, haters, go to sleep. Hashtag haters, go back to sleep. And let's also hashtag 2Live Crew for everybody watching this at the time of the broadcast. Hashtag Replay Crew for everybody watching this on DVR. And then hashtag Ravioli Gang if you were snacking or eating dinner at the time of this show. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being a part of the SMT. Hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we hope to see you soon on the next video or live stream. Peace.